Yo, what's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Nelson 89, and just want to do a quick video right quick. I know it's been about 2 or 3 months, but hey, it is what it is. So this morning I woke up and I got on my computer and I saw where Chris Cornell or Soundgarden died last night, man. I think it was last night, I believe he died. And man, I was really shocked to see that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure if I've ever talked about Soundgarden on my channel before, but Soundgarden is a band that I do listen to quite a lot, man. I would say that them and Alice in Chains are probably my two favorite bands out of the big four of grunge. You know, it's Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, and Pearl Jam. But yeah, man, I was really shocked to see that he had died, man. And he was only 52 years old. And you know, man, it's just really shocking, man, because I really dug Soundgarden, man. And not only that, but I always tend to forget that he was also the front man of Audio Slave, which was pretty much Rage Against the Machine without Zach De La Rocha. But yeah, man, it was just really shocking to find out that he had died, man. But you know, at the same time, I think it's real fortunate that the band had got back together about 7 years ago. They decided to reform. They dropped a new album, and they've been touring and doing a lot of shows. So I think it was very fortunate that those guys were able to get back together, because they had been broken up for a long time. They broke up like around 96, 97. It was like right after that Down on the Upside album. But it was really good that those guys had got back together, and to see that they had been, you know, touring and doing shows for the past 7 years or so. So that was really good that those guys were able to get back together, because it would have been really bad if the band had never reformed and Chris had died. And you know, yes, he'll definitely be missed in the world of music, man. I mean, he was one of the greatest rock vocalists I've ever heard. I mean, he got a lot of comparisons to like Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, because he had a wide vocal range. I mean, if you've never heard a Soundgarden song, I recommend you go on YouTube right now and check out some of their vids, or even check out some of Chris's solo stuff. I'm not too familiar with his solo stuff, but he was a great vocalist, man. Great vocalist, man. I really enjoyed listening to his voice. His voice was definitely the highlight of Soundgarden and Audio Slave's music, man, because I mean, don't get me wrong, the music was great too, but his voice, man, just hearing his voice, just hearing him wailing over those tracks, you know, it was just awesome, man. And you know, it's definitely gonna be it's definitely a shocker, man. And I just felt the need. I had to make this video, man. And how I got into Soundgarden, man, was from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The song called Rusty Cage off of Bad Motorfinger was actually on that video game on the Radio X channel. And I remember I always dug that song when it come on. And I immediately, you know, started looking up Soundgarden and listening to their music, and I became a fan. I really became a fan, man. And you know, out of all the grunge, out of the big four of grunge, I would say that Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, they were the most metal out of those bands. I mean, Soundgarden along with Alice in Chains, man, they appealed to like the metalheads as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if you guys watch my channel, you know I'm a metal fan as well. But Soundgarden was one of those bands that they could appeal to the rock people, the alternative people. They appealed to everybody, but they was also dug by the metal heads as well, man, because they had like a Sabbathy sound to their style. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Chris, man, Chris looked like a rocker. He looked like a rock star, man. If you go back and look at some of his old pictures, like from back in the day, man, he had a real cool look about him, man. He looked like a rock star, man. Well, he was a rock star. He was a rock star, man. And it, man, it's just sad to hear that, man. Cause Soundgarden's music, I'm sure a lot of people have said this. Soundgarden's music got me through it got me through a tough period, man. Especially that song called "The Day I Tried to Live." That's one of my favorite Soundgarden songs, man. That's one song you guys could definitely go check out. It's a song that Chris wrote where he talks about how he can be somewhat antisocial. Like he said the song is about how sometimes he kind of just like kind of sticks to himself. He's like he said it's about him being very reserved and quiet, and sometimes he kind of like just keeps to himself. He doesn't like he'll like stay away from people from certain amounts of time. It's just about being like having like social anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I deal with, man. Like some of you guys on here on YouTube may not know that, but you know, I tend to keep to myself. I tend to like stay away from crowds of people and things of that nature because it makes me feel uncomfortable. And when I heard that song, "The Day I Tried to Live," which was a song that was about being that way, and Chris Cornell saying that that's how he is, man, like it really made me feel better about myself. And it just really made me feel like, okay, well, maybe I'm not weird. Maybe there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not the only person that deals with this. And just to hear somebody with his stature make a song and to be open and say that that's how he is as well, it makes you feel less like an outcast. It's like, well, man, this guy's a famous rock star. You know, he performs on stage in front of millions of people all the time. But that's how he feels, and that's how he is in real life. You know, I don't know if he was like that I don't know if he was like that at the point till he died, but still, man, just to hear that song and to realize, like, dang, man, I'm not the only person that feels this way. It was really cool, man. But "The Day I Tried to Live," man, that's one of my favorite Soundgarden songs, man. You know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite Soundgarden albums would have to be "Louder Than Love." I think that's like the most metal that the band ever was. With that album and "Bad Motorfinger," man. And I really dug "Rusty Cage." "Outshined" is another one of my favorite Soundgarden songs. I like the lyrics of that song, which I don't know if that was necessarily about Chris himself, but I know the lyrics. There's this one part in the song where he says, "I'm looking California, but I feel Minnesota." It's like, yeah, you look like he was saying that song was like, yeah, it's like you look like the shit on the outside, but on the inside it's something different. You feel it's about being insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like, people may look at you like, hey, man, you the man, but on the inside you may not always feel that way. So that's another song that I always dug, man. But I'm just gonna end this, and I just want to say, man, R.I.P. to Chris Cornell. Like, man, dude, it's really shocking, man, and it kind of brings you down. It kind of humbles you a little bit, man, because it shows you that, hey, everybody's human. You know, that's just life, man. You know, death is a part of transition of life, man. But you know, when you hear about your favorite rock stars, entertainers, you know, actors and things like that dying, man, it kind of hits you, man, because you kind of look at those people. It's like your parents, or your parents pass away or something like that. It kind of hits you hard because you expect these people to live forever, man. But you know, it's just shocking, man. And my condolences go out to all his family, as well as the members of Soundgarden and anybody that was touched by him, that was close to him. I mean, it's crazy, man. But R.I.P. to Chris Cornell, man. And you know, definitely, man, his legacy will live on through Soundgarden's music, Audio Slave, his solo material. It's gonna be around forever, man. So just R.I.P. to Chris Cornell, man. And peace out, everybody.